Hey guys, and welcome to season 3 of the Us People podcast. I'm your host, Savia Rocks, and in this season, I get to make my guests laugh, cry, and even make them think about life a little differently with the questions I fire over to them, which digs into their lives and professions a little differently. We even had a chance to change up the intro, giving you a fresh, new sound. I look forward to sharing season 3 of the Us People podcast with you. Let's go.
Hello all, my name is Dara Abimbola. I am from East London, UK. I am currently a freshman at college. I'm an aspiring motivational speaker, Moveshaker, Changemaker and Visionary. You're listening to the Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
Made up my mind, now is my time to shine. Now is my time to shine. Time that you let go, now is my time to shine.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Yes People podcast. I'm your host, Savia Rocks, and today I'm humbled to have Dara here with me, who is a Switch ambassador and most probably one of the youngest guests I've ever had on the Yes People podcast. Now, she's going to represent because she has done so much, and I'm going to let her explain where she wants to be in life. But once she does, this should inspire you, younger generation, especially the younger generation, to go for what you believe in life. Dara, thank you so much for taking your time to come on the Yes People podcast. How's it going?
It's all right. Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Dara. Oh my gosh, right. Hi everyone, my name is Dara and I'm a Switch ambassador, but alongside that, many other things. One of the key things is that I'm an A-level student. So I juggle studies and I just juggle volunteering, just everything, but it's worth it. If you want to do it, you'll do it.
Exactly, that's what I like to hear. So Dara, my first question for you is, could you tell us a little bit about your background of where you grew up, your culture? Also about how did that influence you to be the person who you are today?
Okay, so the name I go by is Dara. My full name is Oluwafemidare. So that's my full name, I'm Nigerian. So that basically oh my gosh. My full name, it means that basically God has a plan for me in my life. So I feel like I love the meaning behind names. When I meet people, I always ask, what's your name? Because I believe that your name determines your path, your name determines your purpose and so forth. But I think this is where my whole life changed, sort of. I grew up in Dagenham, and luckily enough, I grew up in people say Dagenham's a bad area, but I'm used to it. It's my area. But I grew up in Dagenham, and I went to obviously primary school predominantly black, and in secondary school I went to predominantly white school. So that changed my perspective on life a lot, because obviously coming from not that like a low income household, and then going to school full of privileged and rich white and females. So I went to all girls school. Sometimes very hard. I felt like a big culture clash, and I just sometimes I couldn't handle it. And then there was one time in year 9, my mom took us to Nigeria. We literally thought we were staying there. We were there for like a good 3 months, and then I started getting scared, thinking, "No, I'll stay here forever." I was thinking, "No, we'll stay here forever."
Aww.
And then what happened? Being in Nigeria, it taught me so many lessons. And one of my cousins, he was literally just finishing uni. I remember him saying to me, "Oh, you have everything that you possibly need in the UK. Everything is free. Your only job you have is to study,
Exactly.
get grades, and take every single opportunity." And being in Nigeria, it taught me so many different things, and that stuck with me. And when I came back to the UK, my entire attitude and approach changed. I didn't even realize they changed. It was my friends who told me it changed. Like, I became so much more calmer with people. Like, I argued less. I just got on with things. I volunteered more. And literally from doing that, it brought me so many opportunities now. And now I actually go to an all boys school. So I went from a mixed primary to a privilege. Yeah. I I went to I went from a mixed primary school to an all girls school to a predominant it's so weird, a predominantly black all boys school. So even when I went to the all boys school, that was another culture clash for me because for 5 years I've been with privileged white girls and I'm not used to the area. And then I moved to Enfield and I'm just like, whoa, there's so many black people. And I do not soothe myself because they open up the sixth form for girls, and I'm one of 7 girls in the sixth form. So, yeah.
Wow. So you had a
Oh,
major
gosh.
transition.
Yeah, that's it. Life's been a journey.
Yeah, it is a good one as well.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing because so you went from an all girls school, privileged girls school, to meeting hundreds of boys in another school and being only because I remember when I was younger and I went to an all girls school and it had its moments. It definitely had its moments, but this is quite funny actually. The girls used to go crazy at the sixth form boys because they were the only boys allowed in the school. And it was so funny. So I was like, girls, man, you have to pay attention. It's not about the boys right now. But girls are naturally just like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're naturally just like that. That's perfect. So define yourself as a person. Who do you see when you look in the mirror? But also, what does your reflection say back to you as a person? But on the flip side of that, have you ever looked in the mirror and not recognized the person staring back at you?
Okay, answer the last one first.
Okay.
Have I ever looked in the mirror and I can't see the person straight back at me? Yes.
Mm.
Um, a key example of this, I think I got into a big argument with one of my friends. And at that point, I needed a whole detox, a cleanse. I need to just figure out who I am, what I want to do, and where I'm going. And we are very, very good friends to this day. But I think that moment, it was so good for me personally because it just helped me to reshape my entire life. And sometimes you have to look into the mirror, you have to reevaluate yourself, and you just have to say to yourself, is this who I want to be? Like, what I'm exhibiting to the world, does it show what I want to do and what I want to be? And if it doesn't, then you need to change it. And that's
Yes.
why I constantly always ask people, is there something I'm doing that you don't like? Is there something I've done in the past you don't like? And I ask them, when you first meet me, what did you think of me? I always ask people that constantly just to make sure that I'm not putting off a bad impression. And some people may be like, oh, that means you care about what people say. I don't. I care about myself. And I at least hope that I'm being nice to others and that is what they see from me rather than just me being angry all the time, just giving a resting bitch face and all that.
I think we all have one. We just don't realize it's there. I think I definitely have one somewhere along the line. Even if I'm smiling, if people say my resting bitch face is my smiling face, which is quite unique. So, so I don't really. So let's talk about. It's true. So let's talk about you being a Switch ambassador because Dara's got her T-shirt on today, and I know you guys can't see it, right? It's pretty cool as well. It's nice and bright. It's in your face, like, bitch, look what I'm wearing, kind of thing, kind of thing. But let's talk about you being a Switch ambassador. What is it like to be an ambassador? Number one, what is it like to be part of being a Switch ambassador, and what do you do?
Okay, so first of all, what is it like to be an ambassador? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it like to be an ambassador? It's fun. I think you are constantly what's the word, cautious of yourself because you have to remember that okay, I'm representing this brand, I'm representing this person, and Switch Youth was basically made to raise awareness about youth. Like the
Yeah.
youth have so many talents, but no one's helping to nurture their talents. And I ended up joining the organization because so long story short, so I right now I'm in foster care.
Hmm.
So I ended up joining Switch Ambassadors through my school. So it was sort of a mentoring program. And whilst I was there with my mentor, I have this thing, I love to volunteer. I love joining things. I love like just getting down in the mud and using my hands. So I said, you know what, I'll help out with you during the summer holidays. And then I ended up meeting the boss, and then I think I really blended well with them, and then I ended up becoming an ambassador. What it's like to be a switch ambassador, I think it's really fun. It's really good. I think you meet so many new people. You have the opportunity to do so many things, work within the community, and do so many different events. But it's up to you to take it or not. No one's gonna force you.
Mm.
You have to. Okay, it's like this. The facilities are there. They have Switch has the networks. They have all the numbers, all the big names. You just need to bring your idea and say, I want to do this, this, and this. This is who I need, and they'll make it happen for you. I feel like that's a big thing with a lot of kids nowadays. They see it as, oh, I'm a child. There's nothing I can do. There's so many things you can do. The key thing is, it's just who you know, and that's it.
Yeah. See, I like that. So, where do you see yourself from doing this in the future? You're only 16. It's your birthday next week. Yeah. What I remember we spoke about it before we started recording, but I would love for everybody else to listen to what you're about to say, which should trigger some inspiration in them. Where would you like to see yourself in the future and going to education?
So short term in the future, my main goal as of right now is to get to Harvard. That's like my main thing. I don't see myself in a UK university. I never have. I feel like already at my age, I've done so much within the UK. I want to go to the US and really like fulfill my goal. So I want to major in, I want to major in either business and economics, and I want to minor in African American studies at Harvard.
Jeez, she's not messing about, guys. She's really honest. And you know what? Your confidence is amazing because it shows, you know what? It doesn't matter how old you are, you can have that level of confidence, say, I am going to be and I believe I'm going to be and this is what's gonna happen and you can't tell me nothing. And I love that because like you said, a lot of young people think, oh, I'm just stuck here and I have to stay here. I remember having a conversation with a managing director the other day and he said to me, he was South African and he turned around to me and he said, a lot of people will try and diminish your light. Basically saying that they will try and dim your light because of where you want to go and who you want to be as a person. He said the best thing for you to do in life is not tell too many people what you are doing and just go for it. Because sometimes in life, the less people who know what you are doing, the less negative energy they can put on your dreams. And I thoroughly believe what he says. I totally believe what he says about that. So to you, my next question is, how important, and I have a feeling I know the answer, but how important is education to you? Do you feel that education is enough to get you where you need to be? Or do you feel that talent is enough to be able to get you where you need to be?
I love this question because I feel I'm actually not I'm not an academic at all. I'm not an academic. It's just I think when I came back from Nigeria, it's like this. This is the world. When I first came to my school, I am at right now, the all boys school. Everyone said to me, "Oh, you're such a sweat." A sweat means that, oh, you're such a nerd. Like you really like force it to teachers. And I said, I'm an external student. I have a week to show these teachers what I'm made of. My predicted grade is going to come off of what they think I am. If I pretend and act like an A star student, they're going to treat me like an A star student.
True.
I could be failing, but none of you would know that. None of you would know that because my participation is above everybody else's. I said, and that's life. Like, I know that, okay, my personality, like, I know that my personality stands out for itself. That's just the way I am. I've always been like that. You'll see my personality before you see me. You'll hear me before you see me. I'm always saying, hello, miss, hi, sir. Like, I'm bubbly. But when it comes to academics, I really have to work and if you are willing to work, you will get what you want to get. However, education isn't for everybody. It really isn't. And I tell everybody, I tell some of the younger boys within the school, and I say to the guys in step one, some of you here, you are smart, like beyond smart, but you know what? Don't feel like compelled, like you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. No, no, no. You're really good at music. You can sing. Do singing because that's what you really want to do. I understand you're smart, but don't come and be like, okay, because I'm smart, I'll then go to uni. You then get to uni, you're miserable because you don't like what you're doing, but because the entire way throughout your life, people have told you, oh, you're smart, you should do this. And then you have some people who are like step five. Okay, you're not the most academic person, however, you have other talents. Do
Yeah.
something else. You don't. My main thing is get your grades, pass your exams, and get out. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Pass your exams and get out and do what you really want to do because your talent is the thing that's going to make money for you. There's some people who are smart. Some people's smarts
Exactly.
make money for them. Some people's creativity makes money for them, and that's it. Whatever makes your money, whatever pays your bills, should be nobody else's concern but your own, and that's literally it.
You got passionate about that. I like it. No, but
You
that's
know what?
true.
It's the truth.
No, but it is true. I wish that more people, especially within your age group, would express that. It's definitely something that people need to hear because I know a lot of people myself, and I'm sure you do as well, like you were saying, who have a magnificent brain. I mean, brain, genius brain, I call it. But because their family push them to go into education, they are miserable. They are upset. They don't. They think, you know what? I want to sing. I want to be a producer. But one thing that I have noticed, and I don't know if this is in your family or people around you as well, that sometimes your family can turn around and say to you, music isn't a profession. So how do you think the other people made it?
Mm.
Because they went for their dream. And they make more money than a doctor, a lawyer, and whatever it is because they're a producer, because they're a singer, because they're a songwriter. People don't know that songwriters actually make the most money in the music industry. They make a hell of a lot of money, and I know that because I was one. So I understand the whole. But then I was quite lucky because I had a parent who pushed me forward, and that always helps as well when you
Mhm.
have a parent to push you forward. So you've done quite a few things. Is it true that you
Yeah.
done something within the Air Force?
Yeah. Yes.
Ah, so I
So
I was digging.
funny,
My digging is
funny
good.
story. Oh, this is actually a funny story. So my mom was she was very, very strict. I say was, she's still alive. Mom is very strict. um my mom is a very strict person, so it's like half of the things that I wanted to do, she'd always be like, oh, just get your go to school, come back home. Go to school, come back home. But I always try to explain to her, in this day and age, you can't just go to school. You actually need something else to your name. Like I can't just go to school and that's it. Think I'm gonna go to top uni. No, no, no. I need other things to my name. So
True.
anytime she'd go out to work, I would sneak out the house and then I'd go to cadets. And my friends would be like to me, Dara. I'd be like, and it's funny because I wasn't sneaking out to go to a party. I was actually sneaking out to do like it counts as volunteering. And that's literally
Yeah.
what I was doing. I was sneaking out to go and volunteer. And like nobody would understand it. But I don't know, I feel like being within that cadet, I think the whole discipline thing and you have to march a certain way, you have to follow orders, people have certain ranks. I liked it. It sort of taught me discipline and it taught me to be more patient with people because I had to respond to a person of a higher rank than me. And I sort of kept that mentality throughout life. Sometimes you don't always need to talk. Just let the person of a higher rank do whatever they want to do, and you just
True.
stay calm. When you're ready, do your own.
That's good advice.
And
So
at the end of all of that, And at the end of all of that, I ended up becoming a corporal. But now I'm leaving the squadron because of the exams and because I've moved to Enfield. It's long for me to traveling back to Dagenham and coming back to Enfield. It's too much.
Well, would you have carried on there? Would you have actually stayed there if you didn't move?
Yeah, most definitely, I would have.
What do you think your ranking would have been if you stayed there? Where do you think you would have gone if you actually stayed there?
Probably sergeant. So
Ooh.
you have cadets. So you cadet. You just follow the rules. That's it. You're a cadet. Sergeant is a no. You have cadet. You then have a corporal. Corporals they are able. They lead marches. They can obviously they instruct the cadets to do stuff. The corporals will tell you clean up. You're staying behind today. You need to clean up the squadron, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
Sergeant tell the corporals what to do. So when the OC is the the commanding officer, the top, he's the head. He will tell obviously he gives instructions down to the chain of line basically. You have the OC, commanding officer, you then have the flight sergeant, you then have the sergeant, you then have a corporal, you have the cadets.
Wow. You see where sneaking gets you out your house, guys? Look at that. See? I wish more kids would
Oh
sneak out their house to do something good. so
oh my god.
so walk me through a day.
It's funny.
Why go on? Why is it funny? Go on. Talk to me. Why is it funny?
No, I think when I look back on like I'm still a child, but so when I was younger, the things that I used to do, I find it funny because most kids, like my mom will paint me as a bad child because she'd be like, "Oh, you used to sneak out the house." I said no, but when I left, it's because you didn't want to let me do things. It's not as if I'm going out to party. It's not as if I'm going to take drugs. Like I'm actually doing something to better the community. Like I love doing like volunteering within the community. Well, I feel like she'd always think that I'm doing something bad outside. I'm like, I'm actually a good girl, you know. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? It's oh my gosh. I'm thinking back of all the arguments. It's very funny.
Do you know our parents, they might not tell you, right? But I'm sure our parents used to sneak out the house and do far worse. They never tell us this, right? So, but my dad did. My dad told me a story. So my dad, my dad said his parents were very strict. Sounds like your mum actually. And he wanted to go to a party. See, you're not partying, Dara. You're not partying. He wanted to go to a party, so he pretended like he was doing work. He got dressed up, put his, I think it was his dressing gown on over his clothes to pretend, yeah, he was in bed and he was chilling. And then he got his brother to open the window, right? And, and let him out. Yeah, so he went to the party. The only thing is, he had to come back. So he had to climb up the house, wait for it. He got stuck in the window. Yeah. And he couldn't get in. He literally got stuck, like full blown stuck in the window. Yeah. And they were trying to put they were trying to pull him in.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, my grandparents heard the noise and were like, "What's going on? Everybody should be sleeping this time." So they opened the door only to find a man with an afro stuck in a window, being my father. And he said to me, he never got so much beats in his life.
Oh my gosh.
See, there's different types of sneaking, guys. There is sneaking to do good, and there is sneaking where you're gonna end up with severe batty beats. So please remember there is a definition between the two. Yeah. So anyway, so walk me through a day in your life. Yeah, I would love to know what a day in your life is like.
Day
I
in
know
my life.
a day in your life from the beginning of when you wake up to when you feel creative to maybe when you're going to to switch to do something as an ambassador. What is your day like?
I'll give my day in my life on 2 accounts.
Cool. Yeah.
So I'll give it from before I was in care and now that I am in foster care. So before I was in care, the day in my life would have been wake up in the morning, mom also doing the night shift, so get my little sister ready for school, then get myself ready for school. And then before I leave the house, I sort of like make food so that when I come back from school, I know that me and my sisters are eating. And then drop my little sister off at school. Then I'd run down to the train station, get to school, be in school, do something in school, probably like lead in debate club or something in school. Just enjoy the school day. Um, Run back home from school to pick up my little sister, and then just me and my little sister eat, revise. When my older sister comes back home, my mum would have been back from work. When she leaves to go for a night shift, I'll quickly put on my clothes for cadets, and then I leave the house, and then I go to
Wow.
cadets, and then I'll probably get back home for like 10:30, and then my day starts again.
That's mad.
So that is before I was in care. Now I'm in care. It's so much different because I'm not used to asking people to do what I want to do. Because my mum was also
Yeah.
working and stuff, I was very much used to just following my own rules. If I want to go out, I'm going out. But I'd always be conscious of time. I look at my friend and be like, okay, like I was always the mum with the group. So I look at all my friends, I'd be like, right, girls, come on, look at the time. Everyone, give me your bags, time to go home. So now that I am in care, it's now that I am in care, it's knowing to ask. I'm not used to asking people, can I go out? So obviously I'll go to school. When I come back from school, I would get the first train to the office and then probably just plan some ideas, plan some events, speak with some people, talk about what's the next steps for Switch, what we're gonna do in the summer. That's when we normally have our big events. And then get back home, probably do some schoolwork, and that's it, and that's my day. And then repeat that.
It sounds to me like you have a lot of responsibilities even before and after you were in care. How is that for you? How do you
Yeah.
feel being in? How do you feel being? You clearly were looking after your little sister and doing so much, and then now
hmm
you're in care. What's it like to be in care from the transition for you?
I think I think sometimes it is a bit irritating because I'm very even all my friends' moms knew it. Like they all knew, like, oh, this girl, she's an auntie, like she's a mom. That's what she's like. Like
Yeah.
they'd always tell me, oh, Daria, such a mom. um, and I think being in care, being forced to not be the mom is very irritating. They say, oh, she's not your little sister. Like you don't have to get her ready. Da, 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 da. Like she's not your child. And in my mind, I'm thinking, listen, this is my child. You can't tell me otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
you can't, like, I've been very much raised to be independent. So you then can't come, now that obviously I'm 16 now, you then can't come and tell me, oh, yeah, you shouldn't really been doing that. Like, it's fine, I will do it for you. So I'm still getting to I don't know, I feel like I'm learning how to be a child, but it's a bit too late. Like I still baby some of the kids at some of the boys at school. I was like, Daria, you're such a mom, man. Leave my tie alone. My tie is fine. Why you always talking about my blazer? I'm like, but I'm still learning how to just like I'm still learning how to just be a child and enjoy being a child. But I don't know. It feels weird. Like when I'm not doing anything, it feels weird. I feel like I should be doing something. Like why am I not doing anything? I feel like I'm being so lazy. I have to be doing something. I have to be planning something, doing an event. Like I don't know. It's just in me. If I'm not doing something, I feel very lazy.
I'd love to see what you're doing in 10 years' time. I would just love to see it because your action, reaction, your motherly nature is inspiring in a way because you want good for other people. Do you feel that way about yourself too? I know that you want to go to Harvard and so on and so forth, but the amount of love that you give to other people, do you give that love to yourself too?
Sister Erin always says to me, like, "Oh, Dara, you need to take time for yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, I will. I will." um, Honestly, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll ask myself, "Okay, are you taking time out for yourself?" And the way I view it is by helping others. In my mind, I do think that I'm helping myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I'm having fun, but like, but Dara, are you really like you're just working all the time? I said, but to you guys, it's work. To me, it's fun. I enjoy mentoring other people. I enjoy like speaking with kids. I enjoy seeing kids come from where I used to come from. That's what I enjoy, and to me, that's fun. To you, it may seem like work, but to me, I
Yeah.
enjoy that. So I don't know. I feel like that's my form of self care. Like I roller skate, so I think the time normally when I go out and roller skate, I think that's my time to let loose and be free. But then
Yeah.
other times it's like work, revise, get your grades.
No, I roller skate too. It's pretty cool. I've had some serious injuries roller skating. I don't know if you have, but I've had some serious injuries
I've
roller
only hurt
skating.
my ankle.
Oh, is it? Oh no,
Has it happened to you?
I
Yeah, I
tried
only hurt
to
my ankle one time.
I tried to jump over fences with my roller skates, climb over walls. I feel like
What?
yeah, I'm being serious. I like ever since I was a kid. So I started roller skating from about 5, 6. I had a Mickey Mouse pair of roller skates, which my mum got me. And I just went on a tangent. I just started climbing over walls and rolling over like hills. And then I managed to hurt my leg really badly, scratch my arms, just all types of things like that. But when you're a kid, I realized that your threshold of pain, you don't care. You're not afraid of anything. And I wish as we got older, we developed that not having fear for anything into our adulthood, because a lot of the time as a child you're not scared, but then as you get to an adult, fear kicks in and you say to yourself, I can't do this and I can't do that. But that's not true at all. You know, you can do anything you want to do, just like you said, but for some reason society and people have made us feel like we're not capable or we can't do it, which I totally think is not true. So my next one for you is, how do you
But
feel
one
about
thing
the
I want to
next
add on to that,
generation? Yeah, go for it.
yeah, one thing I wanted to add on to that is I always say to that my foster parents always tell me, "Oh, Dara, you don't know what life is like." Da, 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 da. And the way I view it, I'm like, listen, if you know what I've been through, I know what life is like. But
Exactly.
one thing I always say, cause I think because I'm very like optimistic about stuff, I I have this idea of have a childlike mentality. Like I don't say I'm very religious, but I'm quite religious. So there's like a
Mm.
verse in the Bible that says some I'm paraphrasing, something along the lines of children, they would be the first to go to heaven because they have not been spoiled by the errors of the world. And the way I view it is like always have a childlike mentality. When I see little kids, you and like, actually I love working with kids. You will see these kids say the wildest things. Yeah, I'm gonna get a car when I'm 18. I'm gonna have a Lambo. I'm gonna be cruising, and then you laugh, yeah. And then this is why I get angry at some adults. Some
Yeah.
you have some adults who they're so angry about life. Oh, wait till the bills come. Da, 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 da. I'm thinking, let the child enjoy. If that's what they want,
Exactly.
that's what they will get. If they're willing to work for it, then they will get it. And that's the way. That's my outlook on life. I believe that anything is possible if you are willing to work for it. That's I honestly believe that. I don't think you should put like a hindrance on your goals. If you want to do something, you're going to do it. It just depends if you're going to give yourself time to do it. If you're not going to take time of your day to work for what you want, then don't complain when you don't get it.
Exactly. That's true. See, even a 16-year-old knows this. Okay, right. This is good. I like this. It's true because adults seem to think, hey, I know everything, and they don't. So, so my next question for you, Han, is, how do you feel the next generation will help change the world in the way of creativity, but also in the way they feel about fighting against racism and also standing up for what's right in the world?
Okay, so I'll start off with creativity. How do I feel the next generation will change the world in terms of with regards to creativity? Um, I feel like nowadays there's a lot of I say I think it's the whole cancel culture. I say in terms of creativity, everyone is creative in their own way. I feel like it's just realizing your talents. I feel like a lot of the younger generation, I feel like they obviously, I feel like we're all influenced by things before us, but our way of changing it is by modernizing it. And I feel like in terms of creativity, I feel like more people are becoming more intertwined with their culture and their background, and that's what I'm loving nowadays. 'Cause I'm realizing more and more people are starting to realize who they are and where they come from, and they're starting to appreciate it more. And they realize that, you know what, I can actually make an income out of this, or I can just celebrate my culture with the world. But then you have the whole cultural appropriation thing coming in, which sort of dims the light on what people are trying to do. So it's just trying to be positive, basically. Be positive in all you do, and yeah, it'll work out for you in the end. Um, with regards to racism, I feel like we are taking a big, big step forward. However, I feel that our generation is just a bit more lazy than our parents' generation. No, no, it is the truth. I feel like we are like who is it? I don't want to get this wrong. Was it the bus boycott? I can't remember when it was, but the bus boycott. I feel like our generation tried to do it with Blackout Tuesday.
Yes.
It was last year. However, I feel like our generation, we probably could have done that for a good month, but our generation is just a bit too lazy. Like, oh, I don't want to give up my technology. Da 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 da. Whereas their parent generation, their grandparent generation, for how long they didn't go on buses, and by doing that, in the end, they actually proved their point. 24 hours will not prove your point. If you want to become a millionaire, 24 hours not going to make you a millionaire. 24 years may do, however, 24 hours won't. And that's what our generation needs to really realize, that if you continue fighting and if you actually work with each other rather than against each other, your message will be heard and you will get your job done.
You have more sense than a lot of adults I've spoken to. That's amazing.
Thank you.
See, no, I should put you. I should put you in front of like a million adults and let me say that question and let you answer it again exactly the same way, and they'll be like, is she really 16? I'll be like, well, she's gonna be 17 soon, but but she has she has a lot more sense. So I'm gonna move forward to the next one. So, if there was a quote that you could choose that you feel could represent you as a person, what quote would you choose? She's smiling, and why would you choose that particular quote? Go on.
Ooh, quote, quote, quote. Can it be a quote I make
Of
myself?
course, it can, if it resonates with you.
Um, I'm a change maker. I'm a Moveshaker. I am a visionary.
Hey, if that's your quote,
Yep.
well, keep it. Make sure you sign off on it as well. Yeah. So, if there was anybody in the world that you could work with, especially when it comes to a civil rights activist, a famous musician that believes in great things, if there was anybody that you could work with on a project, who would you choose and why would you choose that particular person?
um, oh, can I pick two people?
It's cheating, but go on.
Okay, the first one, Michelle Obama.
Okay,
That's
fair
like
enough.
my main person. That yes, why? Okay, when I was reading her biography, her book, Becoming, I was reading, I was thinking, this is she's her life story is it's not all the same as mine, however, it's very similar. And I feel like what's the word? I don't know what it's called. Similarity breeds something. It's when you're like, do you know what it's called?
I'm trying to remember myself. You have more brains than me, so it must be triggering you before it triggers in me.
But, I I feel like with Michelle Obama, I just feel like I don't know. She's just one of those people like they're so inspirational, and that
Ah, yeah.
I feel like I'd learn so much more off of her, and I'd be able to use the things I learned off of her to better the lives of those around me as well
True.
as myself. Like wisdom from another person, that's wisdom in pouring into me, and I can pour that same wisdom to somebody else. Um, and one more person, I feel like a person similar to my age, who who is it? Temi Moale. She is a what's it called again? She has her own NAFCAM organization, the Forefront Project.
Mhm.
And when I first heard about the Forefront Project, I was like, nah, I need to do something with her. Like I said, this is like I don't know, when you see people who like they're young, you just see them doing things. I feel like with her help, I could do exactly what I want to do on my own knife crime organization as well. And like I don't know, I think they're both just very inspirational to me. Yeah.
I like it. I like that. If there was one question that you wish people would ask you that they never really do ask you, what would the question be and why?
Mm, ooh.
So if you were in my position, for instance,
Yeah.
and you had to ask me a question but reverse it back to yourself, what would the question be that people don't normally ask that you would like them to ask?
Who are you?
That's a good question. So,
So it's like so simple. Who are you?
you know what I'm going to do now, right?
You're gonna ask me who am I?
Exactly.
uh, who am I? I am my full name.
Oh,
I
here, yeah, I
am
love this. Go on.
Oliwa. I am Oluwafemidare Adebodun Dorcas Anike Olontedalo Abimbola. That is who I am.
You are a nation. I'm telling you.
Ah, that is who I am. I'm a visionary. I'm a poet. I'm an activist for knife crime. I am many things. I'm a change maker. And I am a future poet, a future author, just a future helper. That is who I am.
Why did you become an activist for knife crime?
I think the area I grew up in, I just seen, I feel like working, I from young, I always work with kids. I love like the youth. I love like ages 12 to 18. I just love that age range. Um, Seen a lot of the people around me and having friends on both sides of the spectrum. So having friends who've carried the knife, having friends who've been in prison due to the use of a knife, having like someone recently very close to me that I work with, he got stabbed and he's in a coma right now. And you just see these things happen every day and it's around you. I was like, even though I've moved to Enfield, I'm still hearing things that's happening in Dagenham. I'm like, they don't need to happen. And we just need to educate our youth on the dangers of knife crime. And I'd rather be the prevention rather than the cure.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather go to a school and teach first aid for knife crime rather than have to teach people, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell somebody, oh, don't do this. However, they're kids. Kids will do what kids want to do.
True.
I would rather you teach them what to do if they are put in that situation rather than tell them, don't do this.
Here is a controversial question, and it can trigger some answers within people. Do you think that women are better leaders, or do you think men are better leaders? Ah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna. I grew up in a household full of females.
Right.
That I grew up with very strong females, very independent. My mother herself raised me to be very, very independent. Um, I would say, and bearing in mind now I go to an all boys school, and I'm one of seven girls in an all boys school. I honestly, hands up, I feel like females are better leaders.
I'm
And
gonna see. I'm gonna see how much people write into me to be like, no.
no, but I'm gonna back it up because
Okay, go.
what's the word? All talk with no something is what's the word?
All talk
There's
with
one
no
keep going. All
action.
talk. Pardon?
I think it's all talk with no action. I think it's that.
Yeah, it's like dull, something like that. So when I first walked in through my school gates, going to the old boys school, I looked at the school gates and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna change the school." And this was even before I knew about college captain, head girl, all that stuff. With me being within the school, I really did so many things. I started a debate club. I have plans to start an African Caribbean Society within the school. And when I get back to school, I'm shortlisted to become college captain. And if I become, hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing, I would be the first female in the history of the school to become a college captain in that school. So I really want it. But the boys, I feel like a lot of them have ambition, but they need someone to fuel their ambition. And I feel like with males, I feel like they can easily be misled if they don't have the right person. Whereas females, I feel like, especially for me personally, how I grew up, you have a lot of things thrown at you, but if you want something, you're gonna get it. And I feel like because you are a female, it drives you even more to want it.
True.
You have that against you. You have the fact that you're female against you. And for me, being a black female, I have the fact that I'm first of all I'm female, so that's already pushed me down like two ladders. Then I have the fact that I'm a black female, that's pushed me down another five. And then I have the fact that I'm coming from yeah, but it's the truth and it's life, and we don't talk about it or we sugarcoat it. However, we need to be very realistic. I have the fact that I come from a low income household that pushes me down another 10. The only
Wow.
thing that's holding me up is my personality and my academics. That's holding me.
And most
But my
probably your
personality,
sexuality as well.
yeah, but I feel like that's gonna drive me all the way, and that's what I feel like. Females, I feel like we make best leaders in general. I feel like we think about the bigger picture. Many people say yes, females take emotions to account. However, emotions do matter, and
That's true.
a lot of key decisions, if people use their emotions, they possibly could make greater leaders.
I like that. That's pretty cool. It's funny. I was just on my other podcast and I had a debate. He's from Nigeria, and
Hmm.
it's funny. We I don't know how we got into this subject, but we started talking about who's better drivers, women or men, and obviously he said men, and I was like, you haven't seen me drive. I said to him. I even went African on him, and I'm not African, and he started laughing. He was cracking up, and we were talking about all sorts. But it's interesting that you said that. It is quite true. We do have to fend for ourselves even more because we are women, and then we do get points taken away from us. I love the way you done that. 5 points for this, 2 points for that. So it's, hey, I was actually counting the points, and I think we ended up on minus, but but it's totally fine because we have power, a lot
Yeah.
of power that we do use it in a strategic way to enable us as women to get to where we need to be. And men are not going to like me saying this, but we are actually more powerful than men. And they may not like it. Yes, there are strong men, there are powerful men. Yes, we know, guys, you are powerful too. But remember where you came from. Yeah. But I like it either way. Men and women, we all are powerful. We all have power within us that creates something, right? So if I was to ask you, what is your perception of life? And I know I can ask you this question, even though you're very young, I know you have a very wise mind. So what do you feel is your perception of life?
Mm, life, like in my life, or just life in general, how it is right now in the world.
It could be your life and it could be in general. You can combine the two.
I think I'll combine it. Um, What is my perception of life? Okay. A lot of things have changed from 2020. Didn't do my GCSEs. Ended up getting the dictator teacher gave me. The whole Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, life is what you make it.
Hmm.
That is my perception of life. Life is what you make it. Yes, you may have obstacles. Yes, a lot of things may bring you down. However, it's your outlook that changes it for you. It's your network that changes it for you. Like your network is truly your net worth. The people you know, no matter how old you are, the people you know will really help you to put a foot in the door, and that will really make a way for you. But the key thing that I've always said to people, like even my friends all the time, anytime they're doing things, your personality will forever and ever stick with you.
True.
Your appearance can change, your appearance can change, your wealth can change. However, your humility, your integrity, your values are the things that stick with you forever. And if you keep that throughout life, that is what's going to shape you, that's what's going to mold you, and that's what's going to help others around you. And the more you help your circle, you help those around you, they are helping those around them, and that helps to make the world a better place. The more and more we stop thinking for ourselves and we think for others, we multiply, we increase, we get better, and we grow. But the more we start to have a very individualistic mentality, we crumble and we fall.
Hmm.
And when we fall, since we fell as an individual, we have to get back up as an individual. And that same personality and that drive is what you're gonna need to help you get back up there again. And that is my outlook on life.
You need to get on the stage and say that. I'm not even joking. You need to get on a stage and be a public speaker and say that. You can laugh now, but later on you'll be like, you know what, Savio was right. You know what, Savio was right. I need to get on a stage and say that. So, hey, there's a lot of wisdom in you, and you're still growing, and you are still growing. I've only got two more for you. Okay.
Yep.
So, my second to last one is you have a long life ahead of you, and I know it will be prosperous, and I know the way you are pushing yourself, it will be positive, and I hope I get to see your journey. But what would you like your legacy to be when you feel, and only when you feel like you have done enough in the world? How would you like people to remember you as a person?
Uh, Auntie D.
I like it. Mummy, yeah?
Yeah.
Mummy.
that's that's literally. I've always said it. I said no matter, even in school all the time. You know, when you do a year, we're gonna be like, oh, who's most likely to become a politician? Who's most likely to become rich? Who's most likely to become famous? Like, I'd always be the person chosen for that stuff. But I'd always say to people, no matter what, I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna stay the same. You're gonna love me however I am.
Exactly.
So um Auntie D, that's it. I've always been the mum of the group, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy speaking to people. I enjoy like giving advice, and yeah, I just want to be remembered as the helper, the one who helped others so they can help others.
See, I like that. My final question for you, Han, is where can we find you on all your social media platforms? And if anybody else would like to get in contact with you, because you have a spectacular journey within your life, you've had a great journey in your life. Some has been not so good, and some has taught you how to evolve and become this great person that you're becoming. But if
Mhm.
anybody else would like to get in contact with you to find out what you are doing, especially with knife crime and working with people so the world can become a better place, where can they find you?
Okay, so my main Instagram handle, I don't really use that much, but it's called ITZ. So it's Dara A1. That's my main Instagram. LinkedIn, it's just Dara Abimbola. So Abimbola. But I've started two new Instagram accounts. So I think I've mentioned before, I love writing poetry, just speaking in general. So I've made an Instagram handle for my poetry, which is called Malika's Message. So Malika's sort of like my alter ego. Malika's like, anytime I have my makeup done, my hair done, I'm like, yeah, call me Malika. Like, no one can speak to me once I'm dressed up. So,
All right, Malika. Here we go.
It's called Malika's Message. So Malaikahs message. I haven't posted anything on that yet, but I'm gonna start posting my poetry soon and all the things that I'm doing. And then Purple Purposes _ that is the knife crime. My organization. That's the Instagram handle for that. I'm in the process of doing a summer project, so there's nothing on that handle yet. But this summer, God willing, the entire Instagram handles, all three of them, they're all gonna be filled up with loads of things and loads of stuff to show you guys. Yeah. But you can find me in LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm very active on there.
Yeah, she is actually. Gosh, she put me to shame. Dara, I want to thank you so much. I'm going to tell the guests what's happened, actually. I'm going to tell all the listeners what's happened. So me and Dara, actually, we done the first half of this. You guys will most probably hear this all together as one neat, tidied and clean. But me and Dara actually took 3 or 4 days to do this because something always happened when we tried to get it done. And today was gonna be one of those days, but luckily, God willing, as you say, we were able to do this. So we were meant to do this. I'm really grateful. So Dara, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Yes People podcast. You put a lot of people to shame when it comes to your knowledge and you just wanting the greatness out of life. I wish you, and I really, really do, all the best in every single journey that you consider to take.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening to the Yes People podcast. And please remember, you can subscribe and leave us a review on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and any other platform that you prefer listening to. Guys, please also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And you can also donate to the Us People podcast and even sponsor us too by simply going to the Savvy Rocks website or typing in paypal.me/Us People podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Stay happy, stay positive, and as always, please continue to be kind to one another.
Time to let it go. Now's my time to let it go. Now is the time for me to focus. Stop all that playing hocus pocus. Stop doing it yourself. You need a little help. This time I wanna see you shining. I think you need a little guidance. You wanna feel
She's like, yeah.
Oh, thank
man.
you.
No, thank you. How is it for you, okay?
Yeah, I loved it. That was really fun. I liked it.
Made up my mind, now is my time to shine. Now is my time to shine. Time that you let go, time that you let go. Now is my time to shine. Now is my time to shine. Now is my time to shine. Time that you let go, time that you let go. Now is my time to shine. Time to let it go. Now is my time. Now is my time. Time to let it go. Now is my time. Now is my time. Time to let it go. Now is my time. Now is my time. Time to let it go. You are your own worst enemy. Thinking too far, what's ahead of me? One day at a time. Just enjoy the ride. Open those eyes, see the light. Ignite that fire inside it. Let it breathe breath into life. Push all your fears to the side. Control your mind, it's all alright. Enjoy your life, the joy is mine. Commit to you, you got the tools. Everything you do,